Hi guys, my name is Dr. Rocker and Corona still got a hold of me. Not feeling 100%, but whatever. Still, it's time to do another tutorial, and today I will show you guys how to draw Marc Silvestri's Witchblade. If you like tutorials and comic book drawing videos like this one, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. And the like rating is always appreciated, but now my friends, grab a pencil and a piece of paper, cause it's time to draw! We start with a circle for the right shoulder. Draw a small line to know where the other one will be. And now we are using a kind of an S shape for the spine. This is very important to get it right, so make sure to follow my lead on this one. The right arm is a little bit stretched out in our direction, which means the upper arm is a little bit short, because of the foreshortening. The line I just drew is the edge of the body, which goes parallel to the spine but then widens a bit. We draw a straight line for the end of the bottom, and then draw him in with two circles. This will be the left arm of our girl, and both of the hands are placed on the butt. It's a very sexy pose actually. We can go right ahead and sketch in the fingers. They are quite easy drawn. Just two jolts, that very often works brilliantly when you draw a lady's hands. The right hand is a little bit better to be seen, and the whole arm, the whole right arm, is very dominant in this picture. But you will see that later. Make sure that you don't draw the fingers too small, because they are not just ladies' fingers, they have stuff on it. They are like biomechanical, so you will see later as well, but just keep in mind not to draw them too small now. The line of the breast attaches to the line from the shoulder, and a little bit above this connection point there's the next connection point where our chin will end up. The face is just a side profile, which is very easy to draw. Just make sure to draw her as beautiful as possible. There we draw the eye and of course the eyebrow. And then we already start to define where the hair will be, which next to the right arm will be very dominant in this drawing. But before we do any detail in the hair, we just define the overall shape, which you might know when you have seen my how to draw hair tutorial. I will link it at the end of the video, so check it out if you haven't already. If you want to take a screenshot for reference after the first step, now is the time. Now I'm using a knitted eraser to tone everything down. You can also use a normal eraser, just what you got. So everything we drew until this point is just a slightly to be seen help line in the background, which we will use to draw in all the biomechanical stuff, the armor-like stuff, and the hair and all we need. And I will speed this bit up now, because otherwise the video will take ages. But you can pause the video at any given time if you are drawing along, or you can check out the references. I will have all the references in good quality on my Instagram account. Check it out, the link will be down in the description. As you can see, there are a lot of spikes on the forearm, and for the armor on the shoulder you need to draw help lines in a horizontal way. All this biomechanical armor is very bone-like, so I'm thinking of bones when I draw this, and kind of an exoskeleton. And all these circles and ovals, they are kinda lying beneath the bone structure. So everything beneath the bones will just show through in these circles and ovals, but you will see that later on, when we do all the details properly. And all the closing of our character here, it's just these bone structures. And they need to be drawn in very loosely, because we want to achieve a Marc Silvestri style. And he's working very loose, which is quite hard to do, but it looks amazing, especially because nobody can do this like him. When he's drawing, you have a feeling that everything is moving, although it's just a comic. So warm up and keep it loose before you do the drawing. Now we draw a lot of strands of hair. There's no need to draw them exactly like I did, just find your own flow and make it happen. I was trying to capture some of Marc's strands of hair, but that's actually not quite important. Just try to do them just try to do them in the right style and it will look cool. But by any means, they don't need to look exactly like I draw them right here. Just make them very flowy and you're good. After the hair, we draw in some final details, do the eyes and the eyebrows, and also it looks a little bit like a face tattoo. It's not a face tattoo, it's also such a bony structure on her face. And when you are finished with this stage, which is also to be found on my Instagram account, you can just go ahead and erase everything down properly if you are on the right piece of paper already. I did this one with a 2B pencil on a cheap Copic paper, so you can see it better for the video, and then I lightboxed the whole thing on a Strathmore 200 Bristol board so I can produce a really clean and nice drawing to go on with. Now I'm rocking my H pencil. It's a 4mm lead holder from Stettler, but that doesn't matter. Just use whatever you got. And now I'm doing all the line weight, which means I try to bring as much dynamic into the drawing as possible. I do it from thick to thin, but also in a very sketchy way, because we want the movement I was talking about earlier. And from now on I'm also zooming in a little bit more so you can see a little bit better all the details. And what's very important when drawing the hair, make sure that the strands of the hair they are connecting with some other strands, and don't draw the line through every time. Just draw these little openings, so it's a little bit like you would just see the silhouette of the hair, but you don't blacken out the whole thing, but leave it open, you know what I mean? Sure hope you do. And there's actually quite a lot of hair to be drawn on this one, so stick in there, take your time and do it properly. It's very important. Can get a little bit boring, but you will be rewarded with an awesome picture in the end, so stay on target. And this is actually the left arm already, which is showing through the hair here and there. And this one also has this bony structure, but not as detailed to be seen as the other arm. And there are also none of these ovals, at least in this drawing, so I followed the lead and did it as Marc did. And by the way, if you wanted to do this one in inks, you could have gone in with the inks after the lightening down of the whole drawing. Would work perfectly. I would recommend a Tombow pen, because with these you can add line weight very fast and you can also go quite thin for some thinner lines. But I will also mix in some, I don't know, a 0.1 fine liner from Micron or something like that, for the smaller details. Like the ones I'm just doing right here with the hair, some really small and very thin, fine lines to round it up. But you can see it makes a big difference. The hair looks great, you want to touch it. And that's what it's supposed to look like. And here we are at the final details for all the armor. Here we need all the biomechanical stuff. Make a lot of holes in these bony structures, and beneath the holes we see all these jagged lines. On this big one we just draw some help lines, some very thin parallel lines, and then we draw in the shadow produced by all these small shapes. This is actually very easy, but looks astonishing. And some of these round things, they are like diamonds. So we need to draw some highlights to make them sparkle a bit. You can also throw in some bony looking veins here and there, in between that really makes a really cool effect as well. And mix everything up with some really fine lines where you also do details like the other ones, but barely to be seen, so that's a very nice contrast. And all of this you repeat again and again and try to make it look cool. There are not as many details on the left arm, but I guess that's good for the composition, because you want your eye to be drawn to some certain areas, and in this case it's especially the right arm, so he needs to stand out with an extra amount of detail. And here you can go ahead and take a screenshot, but I would highly recommend to check out all the references on my Instagram account, because there you will have them in great quality. Really a nice drawing. I hope you had fun watching my video, and I hope you had fun redrawing this thing. And like I said in the beginning, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and leave a like if you liked the video. And now I want you guys to watch this video. That's where I show you how to draw hair, and I think it was fitting because this girl we drew today, she got so much beautiful hair, and there's a lot to learn about drawing hair, so check this out. All the information you need will be there. So see you there, my friends, and on my next video.